So I saw the Super Mario Galaxy movie at theaters. Now, when it comes to me, I haven't played the Mario games. I didn't grow up with those games. I didn't play a lot of Nintendo games, so keep that in mind. Overall, I thought this movie was just okay. I found this just to be a very average, mediocre, okay movie. I actually enjoyed the first Mario anime. I thought the first movie was fun, not great. I thought it was fun though. When it comes to the positives with this movie, the Mario Galaxy movie, I thought the animation looked great. I think the animation even looks more stunning and better in this movie than the first movie. And I think the voice cast do a great job. I never had a problem with Chris Pratt as a voice of Mario in the first movie. I thought he did a good job in the first movie. I think he does a good job in this. I'm not somebody who has like a specific idea of what I need the character to sound like. So for me, I've never had a problem with Chris Pratt as the voice of Mario. When it comes to these animated movies, I think he does a good job, and I thought he did a good job in this. I thought the whole voice cast do a great job. When it comes to the new people, Brie Larson plays character, the Princess Rosalie. I thought she was great in this movie. When it comes to the voice, when it comes to the voice book, and I'm gonna I'm gonna say this character was if you didn't watch the movie Super Mario Galaxy, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, if you haven't seen it, stop the video now if you don't want to know this. This character was released on a poster. Just in case though, if you want to wait till you see the movie, stop the video now. So one of the other new additions is Glenn Powell, who voices the character Fox McCloud. I never played the Star Fox video games. I thought his character was cool. I thought he did a good job. That's the most positive I have with this movie. The problems I have with this movie, and look, I totally understand this movie was made for people who grew up in those Nintendo games, who love those Mario games, and I'm happy for those fans. This to me felt like, though, how I felt about Five Nights at Freddy 2, where I thought the first Five Nights at Freddy movie was decent. It was okay. Like, I didn't think it was, like, really good or great or anything like that. I had a decent time with that first one. The second Five Nights at Freddy movie felt like they leaned so much into the lore and left behind the people who didn't play those games. And I feel like the same way I feel about this Mario sequel, where I thought the first Mario movie was fun. I felt like the first Mario movie actually had a plot to it. It felt the first movie felt like they actually had story arcs for Mario and Luigi, where you had these these plumbers who were down on their luck that nobody took serious. There was actually a character arc for those characters in the first movie, and the first movie felt like it actually had a plot. With this movie just felt like they just like it feels like a movie they just had a bunch of scenes thrown it together, and it's just a movie full of Easter eggs, references, and that's it. I didn't feel like this movie had much of a plot, and even though it's a movie, so even though this movie has a story, I guess it just feels like it's a bunch of scenes thrown together, and the story just feels incredibly like they're just speeding through stuff in this movie. The first movie felt very fast paced. This movie has the same problem, and I feel like this movie doubled down on that issue because I feel like this movie just speeds through stuff so much to a point where it feels like if you blink, you miss something. And I feel like Mario and Luigi just don't have any character arcs in this movie. I feel like they're just kind of there. A lot of the jokes also didn't really work for me in this movie. Like some of the jokes in the first movie, I thought was funny. Oh, and then I'll say another positive with this movie is that I do like the fact they don't use popular songs as much as they did in the first movie. I will give that this movie does that. The second one does that better than the first movie, where they don't overdo it with the popular songs. So I will give the sequel credit for that. That one thing that does better than the first movie, and animation I think is even better in this movie than the first movie. When it comes to the humor in this movie, though, the jokes didn't land for me like they did as well as they did in the first movie. And like I said, this movie's just going through stuff so quickly. And even though I thought the character Fox McCloud, it was a cool character that Glenn Powell voices. He did feel a little distracting to me, the character. It felt like a character you were just kind of like thrown in there because he's a popular Nintendo character. I did like the sequence where they showed how he ended up in Mario's time. I thought that was a cool how the animation looked look really cool in that sequence. So that's another positive. I did find his character to be kind of distracting though. And there's this, even though I didn't play the games, there's just so many times where it's just like it feels like we just see this like the plot of the movie is just to have Easter eggs and references to other characters. And an example of it, the speeding through the plot, is with Bowser and Bowser Jr., where you have this moment at the first moment at the beginning where there's I see this interesting emotional moment between Bowser and Bowser Jr. And then after that, they don't really go anywhere with it. I feel like you could have done way more with that whole plot. And this movie just feels like it's trying to throw so much at you that it doesn't give you a moment to breathe in this movie. And like I said, Mario and Luigi, I feel like they don't have any character arcs. It feels like they're just literally in the movie because they have to be in the movie because they're not telling no characters. And even the stuff with Princess Peach, where like the moment where you see Mario coming to a birthday and he's talking to Princess Peach at night when they're like seeing the fireworks off in the sky and all of that. There's like I thought that was a nice sweet moment, and then it's like the moment's over so quickly, and she's like talking about how she wants to. They hinted at in the first movie that she doesn't know where she came from, and I felt like that whole plot line with Brie Larson's character Wesley, you find out later on the sisters, Hope Princess. I feel like that whole plot line could have been you could have dived way more into that. I felt like I didn't really feel all that. Didn't really seem to. I didn't feel all that invested in that plot line because I feel like they didn't really do enough to dive into that. And Wesley's only in the beginning and the ending of the movie. Like Brie Larson's character, the Wesley princess, she's not in the movie all that much. So I kind of felt like you could have added in more in the movie more to really like get you to get you invested in that whole plot line with Peace find out that she actually has a sister and all that. I feel like you could have definitely dived way more into that because I felt like very thin how much they got into that story in this movie. And the Bowser, like I felt like they kept flip flopping between him being bad and good so much. It just this is an example of maybe not having to give you not letting you breathe for a second and just speed it through plot points and scenes so quickly that there was like I was like so 1 minute he's bad and you blink and he's good. And I just felt like they would just speed and do it so much that it just to me it got really annoying and repetitive with the Bowser character. I was like, okay, it's so 1 minute he's bad, 1 minute he's good, and he's twisting on the side, and it just like it got to me. For me personally, it got very annoying. It just got very annoying, and the joke kind of went thin for me. I was like, okay, it's funny at first the fact that he hates Mario. It's kind of he's like he gets angry and you see the old Bowser. Then it just like at some point I was like, okay, this is getting tiring. Like it's getting very repetitive, and it just feels like it's speeding through this part of the story and not really letting us breathe. So that like part of the story, I felt like could have been done better. When it comes to Bowser, it's just between bad and good, and it was doing it so much. It just kind of got annoying to me personally. And the jokes in this movie didn't really land for me personally. I feel like the first movie had some funny humor. A lot of the jokes kind of felt flat in this movie for me personally. So for me, when it comes to Super Mario Galaxy movie, I thought this movie was fine. It was okay. I'm happy for Mario fans. You know, I, like I know this movie has been like torn apart by the critics. It has, I think, in the '90s audience score. So it seems like fans are really loving these movies, and I really wish I could feel what fans feel when it comes to these movies. I really do. And look, I don't think this is a bad movie. I don't think this is a really good or great movie either, though. It's just very lukewarm, middle of the road movie. It doesn't do anything that I really hate about it. It's just overall, it's just a forgettable movie. And personally, I did find it a step down from the first movie, which I thought was a solid, entertaining, fun movie. And to me, if I'm going to be honest, I don't like I don't find myself even interested to check out another Mario movie after this because this to me this feels like they're going more and more towards video game people who love those video games, and this I think this is one of those franchises that just isn't for me personally. I am happy for fans that you know that enjoy or love these Mario animated movies. I'm happy they made a movie for you. At the same time, though, I do think sometimes fans need to realize also that look, you can enjoy or love something, but also understand that this movie has problems though. There is some like this movie does have some issues. I am happy though for people who enjoy this movie, but I wish sometimes fans would understand that this movie does have problems though, and this movie has some issues for me personally. And for me, I don't see myself really having interest to check out another Mario animated movie. So that's my and like I said again, I'm not you know I am happy for fans that enjoy to love this movie. I just I think at the same time though, I hope fans can understand like why some people didn't why some people had issues with this movie too. Why there was some elements of the movie that didn't work. So overall, at least for me personally, I thought it was just a very middle of the road, okay movie. That's my thoughts on Super Mario Galaxy movie. Until next time, movie fans.